This is Rhonda Brooks. We're in South Central Michigan today near Albion with Richard Dobbins and Missy Bauer, Associate Field Agronomist for Farm Journal. And Richard, we really appreciate having the opportunity to talk with you, and we wanted just to check with you and tell us a little bit about your operation here in Michigan.
Well, we're crop farmers here in South Central Michigan, as you indicated, near Albion, Michigan, west of Jackson, Michigan. I consider it part of the Corn Belt, although I think that we're often off the chart, Michigan is, when it comes to corn. I'm on the corn marketing board for Michigan, and corn is as important to us as any of the other large corn producing states. Our farm is soybean corn rotation. We farm about 2,800 acres, and pretty much that's split evenly from year to year. We in the past, of course, did have livestock, but we've kind of grown into just being crop farmers, and the whole thing for us is to try and improve our yields and try and be the best stewards of the land that we can.
Okay, and tell us a little bit about this specific field, what's in here, and I know we're going to talk about irrigation too, but tell us a little bit about this specific field.
Well, this is a cornfield. It's approximately a 140-acre field. It's got one irrigation system in it. It is a follow-up to soybeans that were planted in 2009, the 2010 crop being the corn that's here. It's planted in a population that is conducive to the fact that we do have irrigation here, and it's also a no-till plant. We are no-till farmers, and we're in an area of light soils and somewhat hilly area, so the no-till is very important to us.
Yeah. You mentioned the irrigation. I know that Missy's working on a research study here. Missy, can you tell us a little bit about that?
What we're doing here with the center pivot today is we want to check basically the calibration on it. How uniform is this pivot actually putting water on? So we're trying to put on a ½ inch of water right now, and you can see in the background we have all the calibration cups set up, and as that passes over, once that gets through, we'll just measure the amount of volume of water in each one of those cups, and it should be consistent from the beginning of the pivot all the way through to the end. This does have a corner arm on it as well as an end gun. We want to make sure that they're putting it on properly as well. So the idea behind this is if we're going to be running a center pivot and putting on water, we want to make sure that water is going on uniformly across the pivot as well as what we think. Are we putting on a ½ inch if that's what we're really trying to put on?
What's been the value of irrigation in this part of the state?
Well, unlike most people think that Michigan is it's surrounded by water. We love our Great Lakes, very proud of them. But because of the Great Lakes, when the weather systems come from the west, they tend to dry up and provide quite a bit of water for the coastline over there for our fruit crops, what Michigan are quite often known for. But when it gets into the grain growing areas, the center of Michigan, July and August can be very dry. It's a deficit time for us. And during that period of time is where we need our irrigation. Unlike some other areas that depend on irrigation from the beginning of the crop season to the end, we may get a 50 bushel response here or better, maybe as much as 60, 70 bushels just by putting on as little as 5 inches during those months. And some years it may be as much as 12 inches, but it is our insurance, this irrigation. We irrigate about 1,000 acres here, and we hope to add to that. It is important to us in this part of Michigan.
All right. Well, Missy, Richard, thank you so much for your time and for what you had to share with us.